Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another video, and it's gonna be something a little short because I don't know. There are some people that said they wanted me to do this, so I'm gonna do it, but I just don't know if it's gonna get a whole lot of attention. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about, well, ignore Calamia. Just pretend that's like a mage that you can get on global. I couldn't find, I have to stream soon, so I don't have a whole lot of time. But basically this is basically the best team you can do. Instead of Riku, you could probably do Elfim Enhanced. It's just more than fine. Probably Kryla Locke is just fine as well because he has Mirage. That's more than fine because he also has AoE breaks. AoE breaks are really needed for this trial. If you have any breakers that have single target breaks, they will struggle a lot with this trial. And I'll say that right now. And even though I have PTSD about those bees. Originally, I did do physical cover, but I think that magical cover is actually a little bit better because the bees I think hurt a little bit more, and you can just draw most of the stuff from Mirage and also provoking. So you want your provoker to be death immune, and it can be resisted. The boss does do death attacks, and they can be resisted. So definitely go ahead and put Genji shield or safety bit, whatever you need to put on. And he's not fully geared because I usually use Vaughn as my main provoker now. I'm just using Wall as an example because he's one of the best tanks in the game, and also he has really good auto provoke. He has 80%, so all you need is one thing and you're set. And with that being said, there are no elements in this fight, so you really want to make, this is not the best example, I'm sure you can make him a lot better, but you want to make him as tanky as possible in terms of HP and spirit, and you want to make it sure your provoker is not your cover tank. That's the most important thing. You just don't want to, because there is self-dispelling going on. The boss does do dispelling and stuff like that, so you don't want to have the provoker being the same. Sometimes I actually like to do that kind of thing where my cover tank is also my provoker. But this one is not going to work because of the dispelling. It's really annoying. And there's also a mechanic where the boss will disease your unit, and the next turn they'll take an insurmountable amount of damage and they'll die. So basically all you want to do is just put re-raise on them, just to cure that, and that's why you need a provoker. Provoking is really needed in this, so make sure you go ahead and do that. AoE attacks are really needed for this fight because if you don't, then the bees will do lots of damage and you will not be having a good time. You want to go ahead and kill the bees. They will come back every so often, but at least they'll be gone for a little bit, and you can focus on the main boss. And if you kill the boss, this is a very, if anyone remembers this mechanic is very similar to the Antonella, or if you kill the flower, the rest will be angry. This is the same situation where if you kill the cactuar, the bees will be very angry. You want to go ahead and not, well, sometimes it's kind of out of your control, but you kind of want to limit, you can't really limit AoE damage, but you know what I'm trying to say, like, make sure the bees are dead, and then make sure you have re-raise on someone when the boss goes down to 0% HP in your turn, because he will do something similar to Shinryu where it'll do a final attack, so you don't want to have that happen. You don't want to get wrecked. So I think that's about it. If you do cure the disease, by the way, the boss does an insurmountable amount of damage on someone else, and sometimes it's not provocable. Everybody in your team is going to get hit. Everybody in your team is probably going to get hit, even because sometimes it ignores provoke, sometimes it ignores cover. You know, those kind of things. So Mirage does help. Make sure that at least they're not going to be getting hit as much, and that's really about it. Make sure you have your re-raise up at all times. You want to have re-raise up on both people, on both your tanks at all times. That's really about it. There's not really much else to go over. It's pretty easy otherwise. There's those mechanics that I just went over, the main ones. I don't think there's much else to worry about. Just keep re-raise up at all times, I think, is one of the main things, and don't get rid of the disease on your provoker, because your other units are not going to have a very fun time. And normally I would do the trial for you guys, but there are so many energy things going on the JP side right now, it's insane. That honestly, I kind of just need to save my energy for King Mulligan. I'm going to be streaming soon, like I said, so I need that energy for streaming purposes. So I try to go over as much detail as possible. Mages will be far better than physical damage dealers because the character has a lot less spirit than defense. So Diesel is definitely a very good option if you have him, or Lizard. Lizard is a very good option. It doesn't matter which element you pick, because the boss has 3% elemental resistance to everything. Very similar to the Iron Giant, Scorn of the Iron Giant, or whatever it's called, the big metal guy, XD. So that's about it. I don't think there's not much else to cover. Oh, one last thing before we go. This is a really good tip that I did myself. Make sure the predominant killers you are having on your damage dealer are plant, but you want to have a little bit of bug killer in there. A little bit of bug killer would go a long way in being able to kill the bees as well. Your main focus is the cactuar, but it's like a trade-off. You need to kill the bees, because then they'll get really pissed off at you if you kill the cactuar first. Because it's, like I mentioned, it's like the Antoinella fight where they'll just get angry and they'll kill your whole team, and it's not going to be pleasant. Maybe re-raise is not going to help you. You'll be in a loop, and eventually you're going to lose. The loop will keep going, and you're eventually going to lose out on stuff. So, with that being said, guys, I think we're about done here. I'm sorry that I couldn't do the trial, but I think I went over everything anyways, and it's not going to be that hard. I'm sure everybody's going to beat it, like usual now in global. Within the first 10 minutes, I'm sure people are going to get, clears and stuff up and all that good stuff. So, with that being said, guys, I think we're about done. If you watch all the way through, type in #bees. And if you have any more questions about anything that I may have not have covered it more directly or stuff like that, do not be afraid to ask them in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you all watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.